What's up, guys? We're back again with the #1 deck in Clash Royale that the best player in the world has been using the entire season. Alphqq has been parked in the #1 place and kind of been monopolizing the leaderboard. Usually he's up over 50 to 100 trophies over the next best person. And it's ridiculous to see him be that dominant because each time he wins, he only gets like 10 trophies. He one-tricks this rocket cycle goblin drill deck that is incredibly aggressive. And the best part is, there's 0 champions, so everyone can play it. You rush through with your goblin drills and have your bombers or fire spirits splash onto your opponent's Valkyries, Dark Princes, or whatever they use in front of their tower to counter it. And when you're up elixir, you can goblin drill in the back, bandit at the river, and spice things up and have that bandit connect to the tower. Once you get a damage lead and your opponent's tower is around 1,000 damage, you automatically win by just cycling 2 rockets because this deck's card cycle is ridiculously quick. You just drop 2 and 1 elixir cost cards, dropping bomber, log, skeletons, and fire spirit, and you're back to another rocket. I think this is the best deck in Clash Royale if you master it correctly. Obviously, Alphqq is dominating global tournaments, dominating the leaderboard, and all the pro players are starting to copy his deck in competitive tournaments where $50,000 is on the line. Pros are relying on this deck. Alphqq has been #1 in the world for weeks with this deck, so if you master it, you'll just keep getting better. Let's go jump straight to some games and assert dominance. A huge thanks to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. All right, we got a game here. So this guy is not going to be psycho anything at the start rambunctiously, but I can't say the same about myself. I'm going to go for that bandit to kick open the game. This guy's going to go barbell, but it's not fast enough. You're never going to make it. You're not good enough. There's a million other people with... Oh, it was. Really? But it's not, though. We still get a hit. Well, it's kind of a mixture. He was able to stop the bandit dash, but he wasn't able to stop the bandit slap. Okay, we know what this deck is. It is 110% going to be a annoying graveyard deck. So it's better for me to go in for another bandit here just so the baby dragon locks onto that. I wish I dropped the goblin drill in the back so then the bandit would have been able to, you know, force out more elixir, because if I drop the goblin drill in the back, you wouldn't be able to counter everything. Oh, wait, never mind. Why was I doubting myself for a second? Now we won't have to deal with the annoying skeleton king spam. We can just log it so it dies. He's not able to pop off the ability. And then also on top of that, we did a ton of damage because the bomber was able to splash onto the tower too. Why was I doubting myself, guys? All right, we're going to fire spirit here, and I want to follow up with an inferno tower. I think that the fire spirit was a good play. Maybe it was a bad one, though.
That really bummed me out, man.
I might have needed that if he's going to continue to spam here. Or I could rocket. Oh, rocketing is 100% better. If he just spams a lot of stuff at the river, easy rocket value. All right, I think I'll still pass up on the rocket here, and we'll hit all of those bats, finish off the Night Witch, and not take too much damage. I should have bombered earlier, I think, but then it'll also maybe pulled the Night Witch farther away, so I'd have had to drop it like right here. It is what it is. Okay, so I want to go bandit, and I want to go in for goblin drill in alternative lanes, because he could just ignore the bandit, but he cannot ignore it with a bomber, right? That bandit is going to dash onto the tower. Oh my goodness. Devastating damage on both sides. Barbarrel, tombstone, baby dragon, everything's disheveled. It's not even going to the same side, so his counter push is just like really bad. That's what we need. Making sure that our opponent's counter pushes are never cohesive. So when he decides to go and spam them together, it's going to be a problem because he can lightning if he has a baby dragon, barbarrel, skeletons. It can get a lot of damage on this tower, especially since I don't have anything that shoots up. So pretty important for us to throw down and make sure that that's not a possibility for him. I'm going to rocket. I want to rocket on top of the Night Witch and then also hit the golem as well. I think it's worth it.
Absolutely perfect.
Just to get that extra damage and force out more spam from our opponent. If I can get this Inferno Tower to mop up the floor with the Skeleton King, that's a vibe. Beautiful. That's what we needed. Okay, I can log here to clean up all the skeletons. Bomber afterward. If you lightning, I can go in for a Goblin Drill. Cycle to a Bandit as well. And then Fire Spirit. This is a little bit scuffed. I think it would be better for us to not do this, but I mean, do I have any other possibilities up in here? Not really. Bandit and Skeletons all dispersed. Wait, he's targeting individual skeletons there. That's so lucky for us. If I rocket, I Goblin Drill, and then I get back to another rocket, I win the game. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't think you can golem at the river. I think you have to counter this.
Let's really try and shake things up today.
Where's the golem going? 911, call help apparently. Oh my goodness. So what I'm planning on doing right now is just cycling another Goblin Drill and a rocket. And I might win, I might lose. I guess we'll find out. All right, I'm going to go in for the Goblin Drill whenever I can. I'm going to try to pull back all of his stuff. Maybe even log if this is coming down to the wire. Oh, baby log, save my booty. The baby dragon's not going to do enough damage, is it? Oh my gosh. That has to be the closest win of my life. I was so close to losing there. The baby dragon was burping. The barb had his hand in the air ready to slap me. But in the end, that goblin saved my booty. All right, so jumping into this one, we got a game against an elite star. So hopefully he's just going to see the star in the sky shining brighter and probably a little bit more fiery than usual. That fire spirit's going to lock onto the tower. Oh my gosh. Why did I cycle skeletons?
This reminds me of my childhood.
Right into a skeleton king. It's like I want this guy to win the game or something. I'm playing for the enemy team. All right, I'm going to go for a Inferno Tower, and then I'm going to follow up with a bomber. I really do not like this matchup because he's going to click 2 graveyards. One of them is going to cost...
The Eye of Sauron.
Oh, let's go! That Inferno Tower was the best value ever. It shut down the giant, and it destroyed the skeleton king. I do not know how that locked onto the skeleton king instead of skeletons there, but I am lucky right now. Let's go, guys. I'm going to follow up with a bandit. I'm expecting him to go for a skeleton army, so just really want to get value with that bandit if I can. That would be optimal. Oh, one more bomber hit. The bomber didn't give me the value that I deserved. All right, I can go skeletons here, and then I think I can go for a bomber. It'll clean up the skeletons, and then it's going to go other side, and it's going to kite the Inferno Dragon. Who said bomber can't kill air cards? You were wrong. He just had to believe a little bit harder, and then he was able to make it happen. Okay, so the bomber hit the tower somehow, too. This is going really well for me. If you drop anything on defense, I can use a fire spirit to obliterate it. Oh, I want to go for a rocket so bad. But at the same time, I know it's going to make me sad if you all in me and I overcommit. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in for a Loggerino when I get the chance, if I need to. Yeah, I definitely do now. That's a lot of skeletons coming at me. Oh my gosh. 2 Elixir Graveyard is a strong card to have. Okay, I think it's better for me to go for a Goblin Drill here because if he goes in for a Skeleton Army, it will get shut down by my Bomber. So having that counter push Bomber is really clutch. He's going to wait for that to expire, and then he's going to go Skeleton Army afterward. Oh, that's Snowfall! That's so good for me. That is so good for me. I hope he Skeleton Armies right now because he's not going to have anything that's like a good amount of Elixir. Everything that he has is just going to be super heavy. So if he goes in for a Skeleton Army, it would obviously be a really bad trade because then he wouldn't have it in cycle for my Bandit. So the way you play against graveyard players like this is try to get value out of your Fire Spirit to the point that, you know, you don't necessarily have to worry too much from your opponent spamming into you. Because if they go in for a Skeleton Army or they go in for Inferno Dragon or they use a Snowball or arrows, it's just way too much Elixir for them to spend. I also want the Bandit to connect to the Skeleton King first. Oh, it didn't happen. No, 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 no. You're supposed to connect to the Skeleton King so he wasn't able to use the ability and get value like that. Come on now. All right, I'm going to go for Inferno Tower, expecting him to go in for a Giant, so I want it to be predisposed to shut down the Giant first before targeting Skeletons. If that would work out in our favor, that would be remarkable. I'm going to go in for a Bomber at the river because I expect him to go in for a Skeleton Army. I'm going to pre-log as well because I just need something to connect to that Skeleton Army for us to win the game. Did not happen. All right, the Inferno Dragon's going to walk into the Inferno Tower. A match made in heaven out here. I think I can go in for another Goblin Drill while he goes in for a Giant Graveyard. Wait, is that Inferno Tower going to kill everything by itself? The Thanos Inferno Tower! That's what we like to see. Still not enough value. I need to be able to shut down the graveyard with Fire Spirit. Oh, no, 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 no. That's so much damage. Please stop it. Please stop it. Please stop it. Please stop it. Let me just rocket him. Oh, my gosh. Giant Graveyard Arrows is sketchy. It is so scuffed with this deck. If you can just get one good Giant Graveyard and arrow away my Bomber, I have no source of splash damage besides a Fire Spirit or a Log. So definitely on defense, this would be one of the most difficult matchups to play against. I'm so happy we won that. Currently 6,300 in the world, crushing a tough matchup. I think the keys to success in that matchup were getting positive Elixir trades, always keeping my opponent on their back foot by dropping Fire Spirits at the river and going in for Inferno Towers on defense that were able to shred Skeleton Kings and Giants. Getting so much value with my Inferno Tower and Fire Spirits made sure that my opponent never had enough Elixir to go in for a graveyard. Or he would have just sacked his tower because I always had Bandits and Fire Spirits coming at him, so he never really had that opportunity. So the better play here would to be go for Inferno Tower, but since I had to cycle card to get to my Inferno Tower, that would be too much Elixir, so I was just like, let's just go rocket that. Even though it's going to be a -2 trade, it's worth it in the long run to make sure that I have a good card cycle. So now we'll have the Inferno Tower for every successive Hog Rider that this guy throws down at me. And why? Oh, you got the moves. You're making moves. You're making plays for days. I think the Bomber's going to stay alive because I dropped my Inferno Tower there. That was really smart. Because the Inferno Tower took the targeting, so then he wasn't able to have the Musketeer lock onto the Bomber. Okay, so the Fire Spirit's going to get in front. I think we can get some juicy, delectable damage. Come on, Bomber. Come on, Bomber.
It is in the air, and it is caught!
I don't know what I was hoping for. I knew that the Bomber, after it gets logged, will never get hit on the tower, but Somewhere deep inside my brain, I was like, maybe this bomber will be different. Maybe this time he'll actually deliver the damage that we want.
Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Okay, so it's imperative that I go in for a goblin drill here. I'm going to try to go other side. I don't know if this is a smart decision or not. Probably not. We shall see if we can get damage. Oh, the green goblin group. Let's go. So now he can't go for an ice golem. And I mean, I guess he could. Maybe you go for a hog rider with an ice golem there. You're not going to get counter push in the side you want. Are you going to musketeer? We're not going to rocket that. Oh, he did. Wow. Wow, I just didn't expect that. How did the bandit go on the left-hand side? Does anyone have a reason? Oh, no. Fight Fury. No! You weren't supposed to go on the skeleton. Sometimes when I'm commentating, I just get confused and I don't see certain things on that map. And that Larry was super forgettable, guys. And I guess Larry didn't want to be forgettable. He's like, Jake, you forget me? You're going to get spanked. You're going to get punished. It is what it is. I wonder if this bandit's going to lock on a tower.
To infinity and beyond.
Oh, wow. Wow. That was incredibly good. Some of these interactions today just do not make sense. I don't know how that locked onto the tower, but I like it. All right, so he might go musketeer here. That's kind of what I was expecting. I'm going to log, and I think with the fire spirit, I'm able to kill that. So a couple bomber hits with a log and a fire spirit can kill the musketeer at the river. If you guys didn't know that, it's really important to do that in these type of matchups where they try to win bridge battles. If they don't have an ice golem tanking, that's the play. Okay, so I just go for an Inferno Tower early, and I keep it alive, so when he goes in for another Hog Rider, he's not going to be able to get enough damage. Oh, I can pull back his next Hog Rider with a Goblin Drill. That's super fun to do. If you guys haven't done that before, I love that. So the Inferno Tower is going to stay alive. If you're going for a Hog Rider, it's just going to die. It's not going to do much. I think I can start to Rocket Cycle because it is double elixir, but since he is already back to another Hog Rider, I'm not going to try to liberally spam myself into insanity. I'm going to go in for a Inferno Tower because he's going to Fireball. I just don't want to eat that damage. I'm really not about that life. The Bandit, though. Oh, let's go. Pop off harder, Bandit. Let's get it. All right. So Inferno Tower is alive on the left-hand side. I think I can go for like a Goblin Drill and a Rocket on the cannon. And this might win me the game. I don't think it's possible for him to defend this because if he goes Hog Rider, it gets pulled back into the Goblin Drill. Oh, the Goblins. I thought they were going to stay alive. Oh, man. I really thought the Goblins were going to stay alive there. I was amped up and built up in anticipation. It's going to Fireball, but you can't break through an Inferno Tower. Even if you Fireball, that's why Inferno Tower is, in my opinion, the best defensive building in the game. If you run Tesla, it can actually get broken through if your opponent's got some like Fireball value and then gets a Musketeer shot. But, you know, this thing is just melting tanks and melting Ice Golem Hog Rider pushes for breakfast. And after that win, we'll see where we're at though in the world. Let's go. 5,800. Got a game against someone from the happiest skirmish. Okay, another Hog Rider player. 2 in a row. That's interesting. All right. I'm here for it. I can go in for a Goblin Drill and this time drop it in the back. So when we get counter push, if you drop a Valkyrie, you can't drop it in the front to counter the Goblins that are spawning in the back. And also assassinate all of my stuff in the front. Okay, so I'm going to go for a log here. I don't think it's necessarily the best play in the world, but I had to kill the skeletons anyway with the log, so I might as well, right? Okay, so I'm going to go for a Inferno Tower. It's just the safest play. I could have went for skeletons, but at the same time, I don't trust a guy like this, you know? Wow, he's going to zap to kill the Inferno Tower. He really wanted that Inferno Tower gone. You know what? I don't think it's worth it me dropping skeletons there because I already dedicated an Inferno Tower to kill that P.E.K.K.A when I was down at 0 elixir. So I'll try to get a positive elixir trade with the Fire Spirit on top of the tower. Ooh, 300 damage just eating that. He doesn't know.
Kaboom.
I see why it's consistently played at #1 in the world and why everyone has tried this thing out. It's aggressive, it's unanticipated, and at the same time, it's incredibly safe. Okay, I guess if you want to go in for 2 of those, that's maybe a bit of a different story. I'm going to bandit in the other side and see if this guy decides to defend that. Most of the time they don't. They're probably just all in. See what we can do here. I'm going to bomber. I'm going to go in for a Inferno Tower and then skeletons and Fire Spirit to distract. I can also go in for Goblin Drill if I need to. Not that scared about it. Yeah, I think I go Goblin Drill because it's able to kill the skeletons. He's going to go for a zap, and I'm going to be able to pull back all the stuff with the Fire Spirit, so we're fine. The only thing I dislike is that it's kind of like a mini graveyard, you know? A skeleton army at the river tanked for by a P.E.K.K.A. Like the scuffed giant graveyard you never wanted to see. Okay, I can maybe follow up with, like, a bandit because the skeleton army's out of cycle, so he's got, like, Mirror, maybe Sparky in hand. I don't know what else. What else do you have in hand right now? Oh my gosh, a random Hog Rider. Okay. I was wondering what his other cards were. Wait, it was Hog Rider at the start of the match. I forgot about that. Let me know in the comment section if that's ever happened to you guys. Maybe it's because of my commentary, but it also happens in real games for me too, where I'm like, yeah, there's no way he has another card. I've seen everything. And then...
I'm an albatross. Who is that?
My
Stupid little brother.
I just rocketed on a wizard. That was so big brain. It was so small brain that it was big brain. I hit a level 16 wizard because I thought that I would hit the original wizard and then the wizard walked out of the range and then I ended up hitting that by accident. Oh my gosh. The games today have been so much fun. And I genuinely just think that this is one of the best decks in the game for a reason. Not only am I getting amazing matchups, but all of the clutch games, I somehow just seem to run away with them, you know? So I'm able to stack up a lot of bombers. Is the P.E.K.K.A going to die on his side of the map? No way. No way. That P.E.K.K.A is going to die on his side of the map. That's ridiculous. Wow, P.E.K.K.A is such a bad card. It just feels like paper and you can tear it to shreds because it has no HP. And after that win, 4,800, baby. All right, let's see if we can seal the deal with 5 wins in a row, guys. Gonna hit him up with the Fire Spirit, and I just don't think I'm allowed to lose with this deck, apparently. Okay, that's an Ice Wizard. Definitely gonna be a Graveyard deck or a Golem deck, or maybe a weird Balloon Freeze deck. But for the most part, I would expect a Graveyard deck if I'm seeing Ice Wizard. Okay. I'm going to go in for a Bandit, pull back the Barbarian Barrel, and that's a lot of damage with the Goblins. I like this a lot. So not necessarily the best start, but we were going to be able to outpace the Valkyrie every single time that you drop it a little bit earlier, because I can get back to Goblin Drill before you back to Valkyrie, and then you're going to be in a bad spot. Okay, so we can log this and then get a Bomber down, and then I won't have to deal with the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie just dies. The one thing that I dislike about Graveyard is obvious. I don't have much splash damage in my arsenal to combat it. You always want to go Goblin Drill before you go in for the Fire Spirit, because the Fire Spirit will still tank for the Goblin Drill. And then I'm going to go in for the Bandit on the other side with the Bomber. I think that's the tried and true card combination that you guys have seen time and time again. Forcing out a ton of elixir there and getting some good value. All right, I'm going to go Skeleton since Log is just going to cost too much elixir. Rather only spend 1 elixir.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Instead of a dedicated 2 there. Okay, he's going to have Valkyrie. So if I go Bomber and then I go in for the Goblin Drill in the front, I don't think that's necessarily the best play. I think he's expecting me to go in for the Goblin Drill in the front. So I'm going to drop it in the back. Let's go! And the Goblin spawn in the back, and then he's not targeting them. He's literally just not targeting them at all. That's beautiful. I can use a Fire Spirit to mostly counter the rest of the Baby Dragon. Go Bandit other lane, force out a Tombstone. That's a 3-for-3 trade, and then I keep up my quick card cycle. Keep it a low elixir game. That's how I need to win this. The only way I can win this is keeping this a super low elixir game, so then he can't get back to the Valkyrie and has no elixir to counter this. The Bomber should stay alive. Look at that. Early Barb Barrel. I wonder if the Fire Spirit connects to the tower. I had huge hopes and dreams in this game. Maybe the Bandit's able to lock onto the Ice Wizard. Get a Baby Dragon out of him too. This is really scuffed for him. Oh, not as scuffed as we needed it to be honest. All right, we're going to go Skeletons. Can't necessarily pull that too effectively, but that's pretty good. Then I can go in for... Ooh, what are you graveyarding for me for, bruh? I got to do that to me. All right, I got to go Bandit. The Goblin Drill isn't going to give us as much as we need. Still a lot, though. Put us back in the lead. Wow, okay. This deck is really slapping people today. I'm going to go for a Goblin Drill before I go back to Skeleton so I can get back to my Goblin Drill a bit faster. You want to cycle your Skeletons and Fire Spirit after you go for the Goblin Drill, so then you can just cycle Skeletons again and then keep up this great card cycle. All right, so we're going to go in for like an Inferno Tower here. Fire Spirit, Bandit. I wanted to kill the Ice Wizard so he doesn't get any counter push. And I'm going to go in for a Bomber. I shouldn't have dropped the Bomber inside the poison. That's so lame. That's super bad. All right, we get back to another Goblin Drill. I wonder if I can log on top of the Valkyrie and disrupt it. I can log on the Valkyrie and get some extra damage. All right, that's like 2 rockets and I win. That is 2 rockets and I win. So that's probably what I should do now. I'm going to go for a high Inferno Tower so we can assassinate the Valkyrie first. And then I think I can go in for a rocket and then rocket again and then win the game. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to Bomber. I'm going to Bandit. I think I can go in for Skeletons on top of the Ice Wizard. And we might have won the game, guys. I don't want to jinx anything right now, but it's looking good. Yes, sirs. 5 wins in a row. And I think I played that game rather flawlessly with my Skeleton's Kite on the Baby Dragon. And all the interactions seem to go my way after the really bad start. And I can see why this deck is consistently played at #1 in the world. Every game has been a dominant W, looking at that battle log and then looking at 4,000 in the world. That's spicy. Maybe I should main this deck and start to learn how to play it a little bit better. Like, subscribe for more daily content, and have an awesome rest of your day.